And hey, welcome. Thank you for joining in and into another conversation with a wonderful individual that is out there making a difference in the world, showing that there's positivity in everything that you do, learning to get over yourself and get out off the couch and out and into the action because words are words. And the individual that talking with today is Dr. Mike Miller. Doc, what do you go by?
I go by most of the time, Mr. 1% Unlimited Thinker, wherever
Oh,
I'm living at.
outstanding. What does
Because
that
I
mean
help
to
people, I challenge people to think different.
you? Well, and that's part of creating opportunities and understanding that, hey, I can make a difference. And it all starts with me. And that's what I found out. And how, just to let everybody know how I met Dr. Miller, or Mr. One Percenter, Unlimited Thinker. We met through another individual that I'd done business with, and he told me about this great guy that would get me on my path to action and get out of my loneliness and get out of my head and step into the world of the happiest life I could create. So, not for any more delay, hey, Mr. 1% Unlimited Thinker, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Georgia on a cold winter night, my mother tells me, about 3
Barefoot,
a.m. in the
riding it
morning.
backwards.
Yes. And when my mother started laboring with me, she said out of 8 children, she became paralyzed and she passed out. And I was suffocating in the womb. So there was a midwife there by the name of Eula Dawson, was able to bring me into this life. And bam, here I
Hey,
am.
God said, let there be life.
Yes. And then my father moved us from the country to St. Petersburg, Florida in my adolescent years. And then I signed up for the United States Air Force. It was one of the best decisions I made to get out of the crazy environment that I was in, of bullying. At that time, people was trying to get you to join all these so-called gangs and stuff, and I just wasn't about that.
Why?
So the Air Force, and I retired after 20 honorable years in 1998. I have 3 sons, Mordecai, Micah, and Michael. I have one granddaughter. I had one grandson, but last week my oldest son gave me another grandson. But he's about
More
seven,
blessing.
almost 7 days old now.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes. So the Miller name would move on. It would grow.
Yes.
It would continue to grow.
But one of the things that you helped me with was to focus and to be accountable, because I realized in my situation, I was depressed during COVID. It depressed me. I'm an outgoing extrovert, high performer, and was just breaking into the Jacksonville area, and COVID hit, and I lost that. I mean,
Mm.
people forget about you and everything, but I was determined to change that and get out there and, you know what, experience life until life wanted to talk. And that's what I'm doing now, is being able to talk and let the whole network know great individuals that are uplifting and positive and giving hope to those out there. So, what drives your passion?
Seeing people apply what I share with them and them becoming exponentially more successful in a short period of time. That's my kick in the pants. I'll say that like that.
Why time?
Time, because that's one of the most neglected things. People don't really think about how wonderful time can be for them. They can create their own future. How powerful is that? Man, When I started journaling in 1981 in the Air Force, my creative and innovative thoughts, and then I start develop them and bring them to fruition, I just got addicted to that. And then it brought me to having my own brand, Stop Wasting Your Time. It brought me to being an author, which I never thought would ever happen. Little old me. Now I'm an author and got about 100 different trademark coachings. It's amazing.
Well, what keeps you going?
Serving the well-being of others.
Outstanding. And so give us a little taste of how you started out when you first meet someone. And like you were saying, you're a veteran. You served in the Air Force 20 years. So you're kind of in my similar situation where we don't have to work, but we choose to give back that energy and make something productive, because why wait to just die?
Yeah. Well, my grandfather always told me, find something that I love doing and I was good at, and then do it for the rest of my life and never, ever stop doing it. He said, don't think about retirement. He lived to be 99. He was still farming 60 acres on a tractor by himself at 99. He bought a brand new tractor at 98, John Deere with them big old tires.
Yeah.
And I marveled. I said, Granddad, what you? He said, I'm going to keep farming till I die, because that's what I love doing. I like seeing stuff grow, and making sure people eat. I've never met a person in my whole life who was that positive ever. He was still doing, them deep knee bends that they call it squats now. One day I went out of his house when I went up there to visit him. He was going down the country road doing them slow now. He wasn't doing them real fast, but he was doing those and all the way down and coming back up. I said, what? This man is in his 90s.
But see, that's you putting your standards onto him. He's just living his best life. He probably did whatever he did. When did he pass away?
He passed away in 2006, but the year before he told me something. I was glad I got to talk with him that year. 2005, we had a family reunion. He made sure 6 generations deep had a family reunion every 2 years. And we really haven't had one since that organized since then. But he said to me, Michael, I finally figured out what you do well. I said, what's that, Granddaddy? He said, you good at changing people's mind and help them see themselves. He said, now you don't know how to farm a lick. He said, you can probably learn that, but that's not who you are. He said, but you know how to talk to people and change their mind. He said, you've changed my mind and make me think different as you become a man and been around you. He said, so that's what you need to go and talk to God about and ask him to show you how to create something that you can do for the rest of your life to help everybody in the whole world, everywhere you go. Here I am today doing just that with a brand, Stop Wasting Your Time.
There you go. The biggest part is when you transition, there's a lot of people that have trouble and everything when they transition from the military life to back into the civilian life, because honestly, we're all civilians. We just have different jobs. And once that job ends and those titles go away, what do?
Then what?
Yes.
I have a coaching call, Then What?
Yes. Well, we started last year. We did 100 days of journaling and connection and thought. What was your game plan with me?
My game plan was to understand what you wanted to get rid of out of your life or refine in your life or change in your life. So we did that through 10 minutes a day of interaction. Remember, I would call you or we would just text. It got to the point by the 30th day, we mostly did text, but it was just like we were talking because we were in tune with each other.
Well, you made me see the good and what I got out of that day, not what doesn't happen in the future. And you know what? I made it through yesterday. Woo-hoo!
We
And that's
focused on the now. We focused
yes.
on what we could get out of the now. What's the takeaway for today? What one step did I do different that helped me treat my family member better? That
Yes.
helped me have more peace? That helped me have my joy sustained? That make me love a little bit more? That make me believe a little bit more in myself? That helped me understand I can cry if I need to, take care of that. Now let's do something else. Growth. It was always about growth, incremental steps of growth. Do you agree?
Yes. And that's what a lot of people lose because they compare themselves to others that are far ahead of them. You don't look at it and go, hey, you know what? I'll be there one day. But people want that instant gratification. Well, you know what? They're also 30 years older than you. They have
Yes.
30 years ahead of you. And you know what? They might have had a hand up better than you. But
Mhm.
you know what? You can't sit there and cry because one of the things about it is if you developed yourself and invested in yourself, and that's one of the things that you taught was every day was taking accountability and what did I get out of today? Well, nothing. Well, actually, you did. Did you meditate? Did you think about anything?
Mhm.
Well, you know what? Stop making excuses for not going out and doing things because I look at it as I control my schedule. And I
Yes.
show everybody else you have that control. It's how you choose to, what you said, spend your time. Do you spend it sitting there playing video games all the day? Yeah, you'll be great at video games, but what does that do for you in the real world?
Mhm.
Doesn't put food on the table, only to less than 1/10 of 100th of 1%. Get money out of it. The rest of you pay like suckers. Because I've been one. I first got out, I was like, I'm bored. I want to go do this. So I sat there and played Call of Duty and stuff like that. And then I realized this is a horrible waste of my time. And so I reinvented myself and looked at it different ways of doing things because the way I looked at it, God let me do the first half of my life on my terms.
Mhm.
And I got so far and I'm comfortable. But now he was like, let me take the wheel. And you know what? Just listen. That's all you got to do. Pay attention and seeing the gifts that are around you because I was in hyperspeed my whole career, my whole life. I got to do it all now, 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 now. And well, in doing that, I did everything I wanted to at 38.
Wow.
I had my degrees, I had everything, titles, doing great. And you know what? The universe humbled me.
Mm.
And because if I wouldn't have been humbled, my daughters wouldn't have had their father in the most crucial parts of their lives.
Wow.
And yeah, the money wasn't there, but you know, we survived.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm thankful that I kept my daughters were able to graduate in a nice area in Washington with great people around. Yeah, there was fake ones, but those are, you know, I love them because you know they're fake.
And here's the thing.
Yes.
Everybody that we interact with is important
Yes. And what do
because
you do?
everybody forms our best self if we look at it like that.
Yes.
So,
Another way I started thinking about it is what do you do when everybody thinks they're right? Everybody, 100 people, each one of them think they're right. Some of them that think alike, but you know what? What do you do now? And it's about coming to compromise and negotiations and to where, you know what? How about let's create a win for everybody rather
there you
than
go.
because it'll be rebel or coup d'etat other than that. Because if one side feels like they're unjust, and not getting their quote unquote fair share, they're going to fight it. So why not start it right from the beginning?
That's right.
And that's why I'm thankful. I serve my country, I serve my communities and everything. And now it's the what next. And my next is I love coaching people. I like interacting like what we're doing now, is having a conversation
Yes.
about who you are and your passion is in bringing things to this world. Because you know what? This conversation won't matter in 50 years.
No. But what you did to change the world will matter.
Exactly. And
So my simple mission with all the things that I do to enhance lives is I help people overcome obstacles to success.
and what do you find the most apparent obstacle is?
People, this is going to sound redundant. People waste time on things that don't matter.
Yes.
And then they get stressed out because they don't know who they are, because they haven't been focusing on their own development. And the thing I love the best is I can say with great conviction, your mind does not know how old you are. So you can always choose to shift and change.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're older, what I've found when a more mature person decides to change, they take off like space shuttle speed because they realize the value of the time they've lost.
Yes.
They don't want, hey, what else you want me to do, Michael? What? So it's never too late, is what I'm saying. People run these excuses where I'm too old. Like, as you know, now I'm doing a push-up campaign to build a center in Georgia.
You know what I hear?
What?
I'm too lazy to put the hard work in.
Yes, that part too.
Because I've been there.
Oh, really?
Do I really want to put that effort into doing that and then going and living somebody else's dream and making them money? Or do I, I do the hard thing and do it for
Then
me?
you can experience the easy thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've done all the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not too many people out there that said they lived in a combat zone for almost 4 years.
And still here.
And was more comfortable in a combat zone than I am in my own country.
Wow. Now that's
because this is cutthroat. I mean, the thing about it is if you don't do it, somebody else will, and you'll just be sitting there with your thing in your hand and going, what am I doing? Well, you know what? You just got bypassed by everybody because you thought, well, I'm not ready. Well, if you're not ready, when the opportunity arises, good luck getting another one. And that's where I like doing things that haven't been done. Because these type of interviews and everything is a record of a conversation about wonderful things and how we can help others. Tell me, and I know you're a religious guy. Tell me does your family and your religion, everything play into your perspective of the world?
Well, just a little bit on the word religion. Religion, when you research it, religion is what you do when you feel obligated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really consider myself religious. I consider myself having a relationship with God. And what I mean by that, the difference is I don't feel obligated to serve God. I enjoy serving God because as I read the scriptures, he's pretty much love. He lets us be free agents. He said, well, here's life and death. Choose life. And then he don't handcuff you to do that. So when I figured that out, I was like, this is a pretty cool way to live, And so I taught my children the same way. And I let them know, I say, hey, if you choose not to do what's best for your future, then you're going to experience the consequences. What do I mean by that on a simplistic term? I'm a free agent. I could have decided to ignore all these wonderful thoughts about helping people. I got stuff in my office, and how it could benefit people, and just went on and been selfish with my life when I retired. But I didn't do that. I recorded these things because I thought it would be fun to help people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing about serving people and not making you the shine, if I can say it like that, if that makes sense, making you the centerpiece of everything.
Yes.
That's an amazing thing that happens. People start paying attention to you when you're not paying attention to yourself.
Yes.
Like you, for example. I did that out of pure love with you, spent time with you. You told me up front, hey, Michael, this is where I'm at. This is how it is. This is how it's been. And I said, okay, well, may I share some stuff with you to possibly help you? And did I say that? I didn't try to
Yes.
twist you on, did I?
No, you didn't at all.
And I think that's the best way to live. So that's why I don't call myself religious. I just call myself having great relationships. Me and my sons didn't understand that because a lot of times when they were growing up and I was pastoring and doing things in the realm of religion, people would think they were getting over on me. People would disrespect me and all like that. And they're like, Dad, why you let them people do that to you? I said, watch what happens to them if they hang around us a few years. All that's going to come back on them.
Yep. And all I can do is be who I am.
Yeah.
And you know what? You don't understand it now. And a lot of times people fight things they don't understand.
Say that again. People fight things they don't understand.
Yes, because we've been acclimated or indoctrinated with it our whole lives. You look at movies and everything, it's kill what we don't understand, instead of looking at it from a different angle and going, well, what can we learn from it?
Yes.
We not kill it and then find out, or how about we keep it alive, let it flourish and develop it over time, rather than, oh, we killed it. We just killed the smartest being in the universe because of our own ignorance.
But as like you said some key. As people get older, most people rethink their life. You know what I mean?
Have that midlife crisis.
So now my kids, my oldest is 40, my next one is 39, and my third, he'll be 38 in June. So now they think I know a lot of stuff now.
Dad's highly intelligent. No crap. I was trying to tell you that all along.
For years, they thought,
Dad's a dummy. He retired from the Air Force. Who cares? It's just the Air Force.
Yeah.
And they've never served. That's what kills me. I would say, I could put it down because I did it. But, I'm not going to let somebody else do it. And you know what? We have standards, and you know what? Live up to your standards that you set for yourself, and get out of your own head, get off the couch and get outside and make things happen. I find excuses now to go outside.
That's awesome.
And I play golf. I got with Wounded Warrior Project. And
okay.
They took me golfing and bought me lunch, all at no expense to me. And I got to meet a lot of other guys that were doing their things and everything. And the common thing is no one understands me.
Yeah. Sometimes we think, when we don't interact anyway, we think we're the only ones struggling with stuff. But when you get to talking in a group of people, you find out everyone has something that they having a challenge with, and it's therapeutic to me to hear other people's stories about how they moved through stuff. For example, I just buried my sister 3 Saturdays ago.
Oh, sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I was asked to do the message because I'm the preacher in the family. And what amazed me is the people that came who were not necessarily our biological family. At the repast, they call it, where we were eating in the back of the church, people were coming to me like, I want you to know what your sister meant to me. And her doctor and full family, husband and wife, and 2 children, came up to me and they started telling me how many years she was involved in their family and helped them succeed privately. I knew nothing about that. My sister was a quiet giver. She helped their mother and father transition from earth for years. I knew nothing about that. Then when their children was first born, she was just getting her doctor's practice up. They couldn't find nobody to trust their kids with. So my sister would help with the kids, to the point when my sister passed, they were calling my sister Grandma Pat.
Well, that shows you she had a major impact.
And when the school was the one, a grandma to come out, they said, "Oh, Grandma Pat coming out." And the funny part,
and it warmed
her. The school didn't know who Grandma Pat was, so my sister shows up. Of course, she's melanin. It was just funny. We was laughing about it. But they were sharing with me the tears. They were shedding tears of joy of how they appreciate how much she had.
So what I hear is family, for me and for you, is the reason why we do everything we do.
Exactly. Because we all can help. We all go through something. What better way to live than we're at peace?
And that's what I did in Iraq. I came at peace. I didn't have a luxury anything, but I had the basics, and I was there for a good cause. And that's what I look back and I go, you know what? I'm glad I chose to do that.
Before I have to get off, I want to read to you some of the most important things I was thinking about the other day. I said, what is the most important thing you can have in life? None of them was physical. Watch this. They can be physical, but love, faith, hope, peace, and joy. Those are the things that have kept my mind all my life through everything. What would you say, the intangibles?
Yes.
The intangibles are the things that have helped me thrive in life. It wasn't a nice house I got right now. It wasn't a nice truck I have. It wasn't the nice clothes I put on every now and then. It wasn't the cologne. I'm like, wow. That's what helps me appreciate this life and serve others better. Because I know we're running out of time, but I just wanted to bring that out. Those are like 5
nuggets of excellence.
Yes. And I'm like, man, it made me feel so good when I thought about that.
All right. Yeah, but we're down to less than 2 minutes to go. What I want to do is just real quick, last words that you have for your fellow veterans, first responders, law enforcement, to get out there and know there's something more.
Hey, guys, whatever your strength is, refine that strength and serve it to the world. And your whole life will become better.
Yeah, because mine, you know what? With love is wonderful because I don't have to like you, but I can love who you are and what you're doing. And I look at as what possibilities are there in the future. And I look at potential.
How about this? Respect the difference. That's all we do. Respect the difference and enjoy it.
Yep. Because there's more than one way to do anything. And if we don't listen, we don't grow.
That's right. I appreciate you bringing me on today, man. I'm not prolonging the time, but I appreciate it.
Hey, I greatly appreciate all that you've done for me in the 100 days that we shared, and I grew to know you and we talked, and, I truly believe you bring goodness to this world. And I go off of content of character, not anything else, period. Because it doesn't matter. We are human first.
Yes.
And with that, Mr. 1% Unlimited Thinker, I greatly appreciate you being on today. And how can somebody get a hold of you?
StopWastingYourTime.org or Instagram, MRONEPERCENT. Spell it all together. I'm a little different. But you'll see about health, financial literacy, and a whole lot of good exercising going on this 63-year-old man is doing.
You're 63?
Yeah, 63, doing 1,000 push-ups a day so far for the last month.
Oh, outstanding. Well, I'm not there.
Well, your path is your path and my path is my path.
Exactly.
That's why we respect the difference.
I thank
and support each other.
And cheer you on those push-ups.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. And like I said, if you want to see Dr. Miller, he's on LinkedIn. Check his profile out, and hopefully he can help you find your happiest life. Thank you.
All right. Take care, brother.